With the trade of JPP, they're definitely sending the message, meaning that they're open for business for a defensive end. They need someone opposite Olivia Vernon. Gave Olivia Vernon the big contract. He's their #1 pass rusher. But the Giants, when they've been successful, they have had bookends. I expect them to draft Bradley Chubb, the standout, the best defensive player in this year's draft from North Carolina State.
Wow, I'm out on this, them drafting him at #2. If you are not taking a quarterback at #2, I think you should trade that #2 pick. Now, they still could get Bradley Chubb, though. If they make the trade with Denver to 5, they could get Chubb at 5 if Saquon Barkley goes #4. But if you're staying at 2, I think the way you get value is drafting a quarterback. I'm obviously partial to Josh Rosen, but I think if you stay at 2, you got to take the quarterback of the future. So as good as Bradley Chubb is supposed to be, I don't think there's enough value there at the 2nd pick.
All right, next up, Jets signed wide receiver Terrell Pryor yesterday. He had over 1,000 yards for the Browns.
I don't think Terrell Pryor is going to have a ton of competition for that #1 receiver spot because Robbie Anderson has some legal issues he has to deal with at the moment. So I think Terrell Pryor will be their top receiver on their opening day roster. I think Teddy Bridgewater will be their quarterback. And so
rounds, having that 1,000-yard season after this transfer, after being in the NFL for 5 years, it's very difficult to do. We haven't seen people do it, even though they suggested Lamar Jackson do it. We haven't seen people do this success. Terrell Pryor has done it. And when I'm getting my receiving core, Nick, you'll know this, it's like a basketball team. I need a center, I need a 4. Terrell Pryor is my 4. Jermaine Kearse is my #3. Richie Anderson, he's my Robbie Anderson, he's my 3 or 2. All right, I'll get a tight end potentially to be my 5. Yes, I'm in on Terrell Pryor joining the Jets.
When CeCe says like a basketball team, he means height-wise. You want a little guy that can be a burner. You want a big guy that can go get jump balls. And so Terrell Pryor fills out that power.
Teach them that football, Nick.
After John Lynch, Coach Kyle Shanahan was initially in mourning over the trade because he wanted Kirk Cousins. CC, you in or out on 49ers being better off if they had Cousins instead of Jimmy G?
Listen, I know John Lynch, and you know what? It's very refreshing. He's a new general manager. No other general manager in the league would ever tell us that.
No.
Hey, man, my coach wanted someone else. But him and Kyle are tied at the hip, and both of them have a close enough relationship. I think it's refreshing that we get a little bit of this intel because Jimmy G, I can understand why the coach would feel that way. When you don't wanting his guy in Kirk Cousins.
So listen, I'm out on that they'd be better off with Kirk Cousins purely because I don't think the timeline matches up. Then he logs into his online banking and he says, "Oh, that $28 million cleared." I feel pretty damn good about everything in San Francisco.
Didn't he get $27 million? Kirk got 28.
Okay.
Didn't Jimmy G get $27 million?
Okay, good correct.
On the
More
paper.
than $2 million, and I'm like, wow.
Oh, more than 2. That's
$1
what it
million.
takes for Jenna to say. Well, Jenna logs in that online banking and say 1.8. She like, Steph been spending all my money.
To the tournament now.
Talk about pocket shaving. More. Don't get out of bed for less than $700,000.
Villanova taking a West West Virginia tonight. Then they will have the winner of Purdue and Texas Tech. Nick, button up. You in or out on Nova coasting to the Final Four?
Man, I would bet $1 million of Jenna Wolf's money. Listen, I think Villanova is my pick to win it all, but coasting to the Final Four, I'm out on that. Now, possibly because I've gotten this Purdue propaganda by one of our great producers, Dustin, all year, but Purdue is the only team in college basketball to not get blown out all season. They are the 2 seed staring at the other end of the bracket. Also, at the bottom of their part of the bracket. West Virginia, they got a great head coach in Bob Huggins. They got a good team. Like, Villanova's not going to have an easy game tonight. So, while I think they will go to the Final Four, coasting would mean they can't be upset. They can be upset. So I'm out on them coasting to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm out on them coasting to the Final Four. I mean, forget about that, man. We just want to get there. Now, Villanova has played some tremendous basketball. As a coach, I know if Jay Wright, if he was talking to me, he would be like, you know, Chris, before I got to that Final Four, I really would like to have a really tightly contested game. Most coaches would like Don't do it.
You listening, Jay? Finally, Loyola Chicago pulled off the upset last night over Nevada. Sister Jean has been the most supportive fan of the Ramblers, and even she had let them lose in her bracket. Nick, you in or out on Sister Jean being the star of the NCAA tournament?
For the time being, I am in on Sister Jean being the star of this tournament. People love this type of story. People love these visuals. Sister Jean with the thumb up. So yeah, right now I don't know who else would be the star of the tournament other than everyone's favorite 98-year-old nun, Sister Jean. She's the star.
Yeah, thus far, yeah, she should be. She should be at the forefront. I believe the headliner will change as we move on. Like, I don't see them being but then on the down low, she picks
Sister.
There's nothing America loves more than building someone up so we can tear them down. Sister Jean's going to have some real problematic tweets from about 6 years ago. They're going, no, I'm just playing.
She's like, delete, delete.
There was some shady stuff in Chicago.
Good stuff, guys. Coming up, Nick goes dancing. Sorry, Nick, but